Thank you. Are there any announcements? No announcements. Public to be heard on agenda items. Okay, moving along presentations, Dr. Gooden.
Good evening. We start off this morning, or this evening, with Mr. Jones, our marching band instructor, and he's going to do a presentation with them.
Hi, I'm here to recognize one of our students, Charlie Nawa. If Charlie could come on down. Oh, there he is. Sorry, Charlie, I didn't see you. So we're here tonight to recognize Charlie. He's a senior in the band department, and he is a percussionist. And Charlie was one of 125 students from across the country selected to participate in the U.S. All-American Army Marching Band. And so you might know the U.S. All-American Bowl game features some of the best high school football players from across the country. And they put them kind of like in an East-West bowl game that's going to occur in San Antonio in January. And they also put together a marching band for this experience. And they have auditions all over the country. Students send in tapes. And Charlie was selected to be on the drum line for the All-American Band. So he is going to get a week-long, all-expenses-paid trip to San Antonio in January. He's going to learn a show in about 3 days, and he's going to perform at the bowl game. He gets a ton of awesome stuff. It's sponsored by the Army. It's sponsored by the military. Get to do all these cool things. He's going to get to perform, see the Alamo. And it's a huge honor because kids from all over the country apply, and they only accept 125 a year. So congratulations, Charlie. That is a huge accomplishment. That is for you, sir. Want me to?
And now we have Mr. McDaniel, who will come up and do some presentations for our athletic department. Mr. McDaniel.
Well, first, on behalf of the athletic department, we'd like to congratulate Charlie. What a fantastic recognition, and congratulations. We know it's efforts well-deserved, or it's efforts that have given you this well-deserved honor. Congratulations. Before I do start our presentations, I would like to make a public service announcement about 4 of our student athletes tomorrow night. Liv Olson, Sarah Cooper, Gage Worrell, and Dirk Nugent will be on the high school radio sports talk show, live radio, over at Applebee's in Royersford from 7 to 9. The topic will be leadership. So if you'd like to stop over and take note and listen to a great show, I know they love to have you there. So it's my distinct honor and privilege to recognize our athletes, our champions this past month. And first, we're going to recognize our boys golf team. So I'm going to ask them to please step forward. We're going to go, don't pay attention, we'll go right here. I probably got it. Yeah, we're right, golf. Okay. Well, maybe I was out of order. All right. And take this with you. Our first golfer that we'd like to recognize is Ben Pache. Ben, would you please step forward? Ben was the Pioneer Athletic Conference boys golf singles champion this year for 2 years in a row. He also was the district champion this year, advanced to the East Regional and to the state tournament. Ben has had a fantastic career. He shot a 71 in the PAC championship. That's 1 under par for the 18 holes. And he shot 136 in the district championship, 8 under par for 36 holes. So Ben, awesome. We're going to miss you, and good luck in Drexel next year. our boys golf team, along with coaches Mr. Mast, Mr. Hollingsworth, and Mr. Butterwick, won the golf championship by defeating Matt Methacton 178 to 193 in the PAC championship. This was their 6th conference championship in school history. That's a great achievement on their part. And then the team advanced on to districts, but we'd like to congratulate them for a fantastic year once again. Thank you, gentlemen. You want to do that for every team? Okay. We'll skip a mic. Okay, we're going to ask each individual to please step forward and say real loud your name, okay? Go ahead, Ben, start us off. Congratulations, gentlemen. Yeah, they get the picture? Yeah, go ahead and shake.
Thank you. One more time. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I thought Aaron had already got the picture. I didn't know.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're getting better.
Congratulations.
Well, Jeff looked up there. Okay, I'm going out of order. Don't even look up there, but I'm not.
Congratulations.
All right, girls tennis. Coaches, Mr. Todd Reagan and Mrs. Devin Stano. Yeah, I got it here. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Devin, take this for 20. First, we'd like to congratulate our singles champion, Tori Alexander. Tori, would you please step forward? Tori won the PAC championships this year after an 0-6 loss in the first set, came back to win 6-3, 6-2 to win the championship. And Tori also qualified for the PIAA District 1 championship. So congratulations, Tori Alexander, PAC singles champion. Now our girls tennis team, they went 11-0 this year, winning the final match over Upper Marion to clinch the title 6-1 to secure their second Pioneer Athletic Conference championship in school history. So congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, for your success. You're good. Just start right here, Devin. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, ladies. This is a change we had, and I just got to remember to do this here. All right, we'll start far right. Step forward real loud. Congratulations. Yeah, they're back here. Good, you can go to the center. At this time, we like to recognize our cross-country program. First, we'll recognize our senior pack championship individual, Gabby Bamford. Gabby won the meet with 19 minutes and 3 seconds to win the championship. She also qualified for districts and states and represented Springford and herself very well at both of those meets. Congratulations, Gabby. Go ahead, Aaron. That's why I didn't want to get in there. Yeah, jeez. Wish I could get my voice right. Gabby, if you like, you're welcome to stay with the boys, or you can go around and shake hands. All right, gentlemen, come on up. In cross country, the Pioneer Athletic Conference is in divisions. We are in the Liberty Division, and in the Liberty Division, our boys went 4-1 this year in their division record. However, in the championship meet with all 12 schools running, they had a low score of 37 to win their third consecutive Pioneer Athletic Conference title. Congratulations, gentlemen. So now, would you please introduce yourself? Coaches, Mr. Brian Sullivan and Ms. Heather Giavagnoli. Ms. Giavagnoli, by the way, I don't know if you know, was a fantastic runner for us here at Springford, a pack champion, and went on to Ryder to duplicate her efforts here. So congratulations to all.
Have that lady queue up her thing. Queue her thing up.
Just want to congratulate all of our fall athletes and the great job that you do in representing the district, and congratulations all around. At this time, we'd like to introduce our 8th grade principal, Mr. Siggins, and he has a presentation along with Dr. Moyer, the House Principal, and so I'll hand it over to Dr. Siggins.
All right, thank you, Dr. Gooden, and I'd like to thank all of our board members for giving our eighth graders an opportunity to come and speak to you tonight. A little bit about the special area classes that we offer in the eighth grade center. I would like to thank the students. We're very proud of them for, one, being willing to volunteer to do this, and two, putting the necessary time to prepare to be here this evening. So we appreciate that. We thank Mom and Dad for bringing them, and I also want to thank Dr. Moyer for leading them through the presentation. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Moyer.
First, I too want to thank everybody for allowing us to come out this evening and show off the class of 2022 to you and the work at their eighth grade center. Tonight, we've brought 12 members of the class of 2022 to talk to you about their experiences in a series of classes that we run at the eighth grade center on a daily basis. To students, these classes are called their special area classes and consist of technology education, family and consumer science, art education, and music education. To many students, these classes are special in that they allow students to hone in on a set of existing skills and talents that they already possess, while for others, these classes help them to define interests and passions that they didn't know they even had. This is especially important in eighth grade, as students often use their experiences in these classes to make decisions about high school elective classes, club participation, and for some, programs of study at our Western Center. That course selection process is set to begin for our eighth graders in January of this year, which is about a month away. Our students participate in each of these 4 special area classes, much the way they did in 7th grade. Students have 1 special area class a day for an entire marking period of 45 days. Then they'll transition to a new class with a new group of students once that marking period changes. Tonight we have 4 groups of students who are here to quickly tell you about their experiences during that first marking period in their special area classes. We'll begin with some students from technology education. While they are speaking to you, we will run some slides of some of their work samples for the marking period. Technology education.
Good evening. My name is Kate Vossen, and in Tech Ed, we mainly learned about structural design and building with lots of angles. The highlights were testing our tower, building our boat, and testing our catapult. What I personally enjoyed was that we were allowed to move around the classroom as we wished, as long as we were being productive. What was beneficial for me was learning to use the structural stress analyzer in the classroom. This class has impacted me as it has given me a greater understanding of workshop tools, how they work, that stuff. Thank you, and here's Aurora.
Hello, I'm Aurora Ferguson. One of the most proud moments for not only me, but for the 3 of us was seeing our paper boats and wood towers being tested. And knowing that we've been working on them for weeks and seeing them being, succeeding was a proud moment for us. This class will lead me taking woodworking and robotics clubs in the future. Mr. Okonski has taught us a lot of things, but 2 things I'll remember forever is that failure is okay and not everything is handed to us. I enjoyed Mr. O's class very much, and I look forward to taking similar classes in the future. Here is Joey.
Hi, I'm Joey. When we worked with woodcrafts, it was challenging due to how precise we had to be to avoid mistakes, but it taught me durability and how to work with certain tools. Being hands-on was engaging. Being able to actually see and make boats and bridges from scratch really engaged me in the topic and makes me want to further it later in my years. Mr. Okonski's Tech Ed class was the part of the day we all looked forward to coming back, and thank you.
And now family consumer science, Olivia. Nice and slow.
Hi, my name is Olivia Payton, and I'm excited to talk to you about my experience in the Family and Consumer Science class. I've been able to learn fun and creative ways to make food, gifts, and design everyday decor. For example, one of my favorite projects I learned was how to make a stuffed chicken. I loved the project so much, I decided to make it a gift as my dad, although might be girly. For these reasons, it is now a big game changer in choosing my electives for next year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alex Craig, and in FCS, I found the chicken project most challenging because I'd only sewn once before, and that was in 7th grade, And before we started, it looked very complex, but I was granted the help I needed to complete it, and I am very proud to have it actually completed. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rosie, and during FCS, we learned about kitchen safety, childcare and development, and saving for a better future. In FCS, we learned how to sew, cook, recycle, and reuse different items, and how to handle or entertain different age groups of children. This class assisted me in developing lifelong skills that will allow me to be a more effective and productive adult. We made little chickens, and we also used t-shirts and made them into little baggies that we can use. Thank you.
All right, we now have a couple students to talk to you about art. One thing to point out, if you see some of the artwork that's being displayed up on the screen, keep in mind that those are 8th grade students. So we have some pretty phenomenal artists as they come through. Ava.
Hello, my name is Ava Garino. In this past marking period of art, I have learned about the importance of shading with pencils and gradation of colored pencils. These skills allowed me to show depth and several dimensions in my art. The most engaging aspect of this class was the skills demonstrated by my teacher, Mr. Kirkus. His skills and explanations allowed me to better my art and apply the techniques taught. Being able to see these techniques visually contributed to my understanding of the concepts taught in class. This class has given me the motivation to continue in the art field of Springford in the future. I look forward to taking the Foundations of Art major next year in the 9th grade center, as well as classes in the high school. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ella Roach. I was happy to participate in the special class art during the first marking period. While in class, I discovered a new talent of mine and was most proud of my 2 projects of a name design and vegetable rendering. It felt great when Mr. Kirkus kept my artwork or hung it up, but it was very challenging to continue into the class. Based on my time in class, I would love to continue in the art field and would try classes out of school along with ones in school. I want to take art all year in 9th grade because Mr. Kirkus really opened my eyes to a new future.
All right, and finally, our music class. Come on up, music folks. Jonathan.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. This year in music class, we learned about 2 different types of songs played on the guitar. One song was a note song, which is a song that could be played on from 1 string to all 6 strings. It's called a note song because it is only playing 1 note at a time. The other type of song we learned were tab songs, which you played chords, and it was a specific type of song only created for the guitar. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lydia, and while music class was very enjoyable, it wasn't all fun and games. There were many things that challenged the students. One of them was playing guitar with other people because sometimes it's hard when you don't know the people in your group very well, and maintaining one beat tends to be difficult because some people like to move faster or slower, and some people are at different skill levels. Another thing that was challenging was singing along with the guitar, because if you didn't know the song very well, you could maybe not know the rhythm very well, but being in the class really taught you how to maintain the structure. And even though there were difficult things in music class, it was very enjoyable, and I am definitely going to take music classes all throughout high school.
Hi, I'm Aiden Bronchick, and the most engaging part of music was the hands-on learning of the guitar. Learning to play this simple instrument opens our minds about pursuing music as a career and to continue it throughout school, especially when we as students get to play our favorite songs. Never has music felt so captivating until we started playing the instrument. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Connor O'Day. This past marking period in music class, we were able to learn several musical elements and play the guitar, which will advance my career as a musician at Springford. The music program is progressing as new students like me are introduced to new opportunities in the department. In the future, I plan to participate in both curricular and extracurricular courses in the choral program. Also, with my ability to now play the guitar, I hope to eventually have an opportunity to perform in front of a live audience. Thanks.
So as I hope you can see, we have some really talented students in our 8th grade class, the class of 2022. And the future for Springford High School is very bright. I'm very proud of this group, and I'm excited for what they're going to do at the high school. I know Dr. Siggins is as well. So thank you very much.
Dr. Siggins, Dr. Moyer, thank you for the presentation. Boys and girls, thank you for coming out. I think most adults in the room, when we were in 8th grade, would have been loath to get up in a public meeting and speak. I know that I would have, so you'd be commended for doing that. And thank you for coming out and sharing some of the things that you're doing in your classroom. We really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
These are the types of nights that I really enjoy coming, being a school board member, because we've seen the full gamut of our students and their talent and their skills from high school all the way down to 8th grade. And again, looking at what these kids have done, I wish I could have did half of that when I was in 8th grade. And just like Dr. Gooden said, getting up and speaking at a public meeting is a heck of an accomplishment in itself. So, and 2022, they said, wow, I can't believe that. But I'll be 70. But we can see the talent will continue through, continue through all the way to high school. So again, thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you. Moving on to committee reports, community relations.
So we did have a meeting last week for community relations just before the work session. We talked about how we're going to implement the Springford podcast. And there will be bi-weekly podcasts. They will be recorded in the Makerspace sound room. Examples of topics could include information about new curricular programs, staff spotlights, budget updates, school celebrations, parent organizations, and more. RCTV would use this time to make an accompanying spotlight video 2 to 3 minutes in length. So that's something the committee is very excited about. It was really great to hear. Also, there is going to be a new format, a new opening format beginning in January for our board meetings. The work session only, this will apply to the work session only. There will be an announcement update video from RCTV with a recap of the past month. For the work session and the board meeting, the Pledge of Allegiance video featuring Springford students will also include directions for our residents who wish to speak to the board. So sometimes when you have seen people go up to the mic and they wish to speak with us, they don't always know what to do. There seems to be just a few minutes of maybe confusion or misunderstanding or what have you. So this will be an opportunity to clarify that, to state your name, where are you from, that type of information. So we're looking forward to that. And Facebook live streaming of school board meetings, very important piece here. First Facebook live stream is tonight. So everybody wave to the camera because we're all live on Facebook tonight. The streaming of the board meetings live on Facebook, where our audience is live, makes this meeting more accessible to those who may not have access to it otherwise, or who may not necessarily tune in otherwise on their TV. Now we are also on their Facebook, right in front of everyone's face. So hello to everyone, and thank you for watching, even if just for a few minutes. Thank you. If anybody have any questions?
So who's doing these podcasts?
Well, the podcasts are coming out of, Erin Crew from marketing is doing some of those, and also RCTV is kind of chiming in at the same time with doing the spotlight video and working together on those.
So why is the makerspace? I don't get the.
It's just the place where that's where they're taking place.
Mr. Dressler.
Yes, Mr. Cerisi.
Your turn.
The Western Montgomery Career and Technology Center Joint Operating Committee met on Monday, November the 6th. The report was first given by Mr. Chris Morrison, the director of the center, and he acknowledged Mr. Cerisi's 11 years of service that he has given to working with the board, and very productive years, I must say. I've spent 6 years of those 11 years with him. He also reported that the Girls' Night Out event, which introduced young ladies to non-traditional career possibilities, had a good turnout of 40 students, so that's considered to be a very successful event. He also reported on the visit that a delegation from the center made to the SEMA event in Las Vegas. If you're not familiar with SEMA, it stands for the Specialty Equipment Market Association, which is primarily automotive equipment, performance equipment, with the purpose of investigating whether it's appropriate for our students to be exposed to the career possibilities of working in this type of field. They also found that they could get a lot of outside funding by making contacts with the various vendors in this huge SEMA event. And next year, I think they plan on taking a delegation that it will include some of our students. The third thing of note is the open house event, which I noticed is on our marquee outside the high school here on November the 29th. That'd be this Wednesday. From 5 till 6 p.m., prospective students and their parents will be given a special introduction to the center. And from 6 to 8 o'clock, the community will have an open house to see what this fine facility has to offer in career opportunities for our students. And finally, there is a high tea event that's going to be scheduled on Wednesday, December the 13th. This is going to have 2 seatings. The first one's going to be at 11:30 in the morning, and the second one will be at 12 o'clock noon. There are 30 reservations to be taken. This should be a great event, so get your reservations in quickly. The last thing was the superintendent's report, where Dr. Gooden reported that Representative Bob McDermott from the state of Hawaii came to look at our programs at the Western Center with the idea of introducing similar programs in the state of Hawaii, which I guess presently does not have that type of program. And that is all I have to report at the Western Center. Any questions?
Do you want to talk about the tiny house going to?
For which one?
The tiny house?
Oh, the tiny house was taken to Penn State. And I assume it was well received.
The tiny house, it was well received, and Chris got an offer on it while it was there, but because the board put a caveat that it had to be auctioned off starting at $40,000, he wasn't able to accept the offer. So.
Oh, is that right?
So the tiny house will be auctioned in the coming weeks, and bids will start at $40,000. It's valued at about, I think, $62,000. So we're hoping that we could at least get 45, 50, somewhere in that range.
I assume people will be able to see the open house, the tiny house at the open house on Wednesday night. It's quite a lovely little house, I must say. It's got all kinds of terrific features. Moving right along.
Can I just comment on that too, that my husband actually painted that pro bono, and he said that it is quite the compact little area. Wouldn't mind moving there, so we may put an offer in.
From your house
Fine
to that
with me.
house, and he might be moving in.
He might be.
He's moving.
He might be.
All right, well, I'm sure there's more to that story.
No.
There's not. The next report has to do with the Pennsylvania School Board Association. We're still looking for a volunteer from the board to attend the National School Board Association meeting in the spring. at San Antonio, Texas. Hopefully somebody will be able to attend that meeting. The issue of school start times is still an important issue. Districts in and around the Pittsburgh area are now evaluating changing the start times. In particular, the North Allegheny School District, headed by Robert Shearer, the superintendent, whom I had the chance to meet at the PSBA meeting, is testing this, changing the start times. The district start first period classes at 7:25 and dismiss the students at 2:15 p.m. This question of the sleep cycles for young people is certainly been investigated by the medical community. And Jessica Levinson, assistant professor of psychiatry at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, says, "We know that sleep, just for humans in general, has an impact on almost all areas of functioning. And it seems like a teen is just being difficult about getting out of bed in the morning. There is a case for blaming biology. The body's circadian rhythms are delayed during teenage years, which means young people going through puberty naturally want to go to sleep later and wake up later," Levinson said. So anyway, this is being investigated by several school districts in the Pittsburgh area. And of course, there are the costs incurred in changing the school times with busing issues and things of that nature. So we'll wait to see what the results of that experiment are, because it's something that I think we all need to consider. One thing I want to point out is that the school district in North Allegheny did not do this without consulting the parents of the students, and had town meetings to go over the issues involved. And they are certainly a forward-looking school district. Any questions or comments in regard?
Ed, can you please tell me again what the start time was for the high school?
They said 7:25.
Because we actually start later than that.
Well, that's not, let me give you, no, all right, Smarty. Let me give you some more details on that, since you're challenging me on that.
I wasn't challenging you, I was just stating,
but,
that you're
certain other
saying
people
if
here
they're
are gonna
starting
be-
at 7:25 and they're getting out at 2:15, we're starting at
I did say
7:40 and
7:25.
getting out at 2:20, so we're right in line with them, if not later.
Coming to school.
So it'd be interesting to hear what time they were starting and how they moved it back to that time.
They're shifting the first period start time from 7:15 to 8 a.m., quote unquote. Oh, okay.
So that's 20-minute difference
hear
from
you.
where we're
Okay.
starting.
So it's a big shift.
Any other questions? Thank you.
You're welcome.
I thought I gave the report last week. If I didn't, just post it. I apologize. No legislative. Mr. DeBello? No, NCIU.
The only thing I report with the MCIU is last week when we had our meeting, we were back at the old facility, which was turned into early intervention and pre-K learning, which has turned out to be a very successful programs. I think we have over 400 students now enrolled in each of those programs. With that said, we're kind of back at the starting gate as far as utilizing that building. When we originally moved out of that building, the hopes was to sell it as the new location was moved down to the Norristown location on Lafayette Street. But now with these programs off and running and very successful, we're now going back and revisiting, getting some bids or ideas on certain aspects of the building that will need to be remodeled to accommodate and actually bring the building up to some current standards as well. So there'll be more to come on that in the near future, but we are looking at making a small investment or possibly sizable investment at the original location of the IU. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. Dr. Gooden?
Tonight is our last meeting for two of our board members, Mr. Cerisi and Mrs. Spletzer. And we want to thank you publicly for the service that you've rendered to the district on behalf of the community. And you certainly, both of you have certainly done the yeoman's work and moving the district forward and making sure that things were happening within the district. And we certainly appreciate the time that you've committed to that. We also want to present you guys with a couple little tokens of our appreciation. And so if I could have you two come forward and come out here in the middle, we have a couple things for you. Now, for those in the audience, if you look underneath your chair, there's a water balloon. And when Mr. Cerisi gets out here, that's when you want to
throw fruit.
Oh, fruit.
That's better.
No, seriously, we do have something for you, and we do appreciate all that you guys have done. And so, like I said, we have something for each of you. Okay. I got it right. Yeah, please. We apparently have many seniors in the high school who would love to have those.
Yeah, one tried to get one last year. I don't know, my son already told me if you got around, I'm taking it.
So if you're wondering, these are our centerpieces when we have banquets. All right. And the next gift is directly from the administrative team. So what we were able to pull together is a leadership team, and we just had all the leadership team sign around it. Again, thank you for your years of service.
Can I just say really quick a thank you? Mine will probably be shorter than yours. That's what I figured. So it is bittersweet tonight, the last time I'll sit at this table, unless I decide to run again in 2 years. Just kidding. It has been an honor, an experience that I will cherish forever, the 4 years I've spent serving the students and the community in Springford. And I love this district, and I am glad to have been a part of this and see how the sausage is made for the past 4 years. It's been he's like, oh. It's been very humbling, and it's been a great experience.
I will keep my comments to the end of the meeting. So, but Kelly, thank you for your service, for sitting here, both as a board, well, more than as a board member, a community member, and as a parent. It does take a lot of time out of your life. It changes your life in a lot of ways. We grow from it, I think, and it doesn't go without its pluses and minuses, but you often hear, well, that's a thankless job, and as you well know, with the energy and the time you gave was far from thankless. So thank you for your service. All right, moving along. Minutes, A and B. Oh, I'm sorry, we forgot the solicitor's report. Mark,
No report this evening.
Oh, okay, thank you. After you brought those chickens over there, you know. I'm sorry, A and B. Is there a motion?
Moved.
Questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Personnel, we're going to do A, B, and I think C2. C1 is out. There was a change, and that position is no longer going to be taken by that individual. So it's A, B, C2 to E. And in E, that's pending the administration's approval. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong thing. We're removing something in E. Let's just go A and B. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Then C2 to E, and under E, we're removing Susan Hammond from the extracurricular. Second. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Finance, we have A through M. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Property, we have A and B is with administration's approval. That's what will be changed in the motion.
It's subject to a final agreement with the township.
Okay.
Yep.
Separate B.
Okay. A, is there a motion? Questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? B, is there a motion?
Second.
Questions or comments?
Just have a question that the project hasn't been approved yet. Why would we need to put money in escrow? I thought about that after the meeting last week.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
If it's put in escrow, and it would obviously be returned to us if the project were to be forfeited at some point, but these would be preliminary steps that would have to be taken now to move forward to when bids would be brought forward later on in the winter or early spring.
So that's in anticipation of a bid.
Correct.
Any other questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Program curriculum A and B. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Conferences and workshops A to C. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Other business A through D. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. E is a first reading. I don't know if anyone has any comments on that. Board comments?
I'd like to make a comment, if I may. May I, Mr. President? One thing is for sure, things will not be the same on the board without Mr. Cerisi. Some say that's a good thing. I, on the other hand, say that will not be a void that will be easily filled. Mr. Cerisi was always coming up with good ideas for the betterment of the program here. He even convinced me that I might be able to become a thespian. That's a thespian, by the way.
You were good.
That proves that not all of his ideas turned out to be good ideas. But what I would like to say is we all wish you the best of luck, Joe, and you will be missed. And we know that if there is an unattended microphone out there somewhere, we just have to wait and you will be along to fill that empty microphone, I'm sure. Best of luck, Joe.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Pettit.
Well, go ahead.
No, I just also want to join in expressing out my great appreciation for all the hard work you've done on behalf of the district and the board. These kids and this whole town and the whole school district owes you a very strong debt of gratitude. You've been a great positive influence on this school district and one of the main reasons for this district thriving and improving the way it has in the time you've been on the board. Thank you very much.
Well, I had the opportunity to film a show, or do an on-board show with Joe for 7 years or 7+ years, and I spent about 15, 20 minutes paying homage to him. So I'm going to take my time this evening and thank Kelly for being on the board with us, because I agree with Mr. Dressler. When we lose board members, it's always very hard to fill a seat. I know we have other members coming on, and we're really excited they'll be joining us. But you know, Kelly, when you came on board, I can't believe it's been 4 years already. It flew. You really hit the ground running. You jumped in with both feet, and it was never looking back. I think that you helped us have many achievements and have many successes. You provided a lot of guidance and support, and as well as every now and then get us back on track. So we definitely appreciate everything that you have done. Hopefully, after a short period of time, you'll say, you know what, I think I do miss it. And you may consider coming back at some time in the future. I know the district will welcome you with open arms, and I know that will be extreme benefit to whatever board sitting in place at that time, that you'll come back and join us, whoever that may be. So thank you for everything you've done.
Hear, hear.
I will take a brief minute to talk about Joe. And I know within a minute that's hard, because it's finding that much to say to cover a minute is hard. But Joe, I will talk about some of the things for those that might have missed our episode on board. But Joe was a driving force behind many initiatives in the district, and I will point out just a few. One was the Strings program, which will go on for many, many years to come here at Springford. I know when he first presented that and pushed that idea, there was opposition by them board members and also some community members, and didn't really feel and see the need for why we would want to have a Strings program here at Springford. And the reason is very easily answered by 500 plus students that participate in the Strings program today, simply said. Another initiative that Joe was behind was the Limerick to Limerick, Limerick, Pennsylvania, Limerick to Limerick with Ireland, Ireland wire. It's hard to explain that, but Joe saw an opportunity working with a resident to say that, you know, we could do an exchange program that all came together when we were building Evans Elementary. That program's been going on strong now for, I believe, 11 years? 12 years? Do you know? Huh?
I think this will be the 9th exchange, but we started it before the exchange.
Wait, 10 years. And that program in itself has been, again, very successful here at Springford. I know the kids that participate in that program, many of them for many years have stayed in touch with the students that they were, when they went to Ireland, or the students that came here, they have formed long-lasting relationships. And that's definitely a program that we're very excited about. Joe also recommended or came up with the idea of school board members go back to school, although we haven't done it the last couple of years, which I hope that we could get back to that. Gave the opportunity for board members to go and do it as a day as a student and go around to the different schools and just participate in the classrooms to see what it's like and what our students are seeing. And we always say this has nothing to do with, you know, evaluating teachers. It really is to be there in support of the teachers, because we make a lot of hard decisions up at this table when it comes to education and spending. So it's really good to participate and be involved in the classrooms and see our students. He also was informative of administrators with class, where the administration went back to school. and each quarter to just basically get back in the classroom and act as a substitute. There was this big weed field behind the 9th grade center. And I remember the first time that Joe mentioned to me about an arboretum behind the 9th grade center. I drove around, I kept looking for it. I came back to him. I said, I don't see no arboretum. And I talked about this big weed overgrown area behind the 9th grade center. He goes, that's it. And with Gail Wellington, they started on this initiative. Joe came up with the idea of revitalizing that, and Gail Wellington took it and ran with it. And for those that haven't had the opportunity, I encourage you to take a stroll some afternoon or early evening behind the 9th grade center through the Arboretum, and you'll be amazed and impressed by what has been done there. And I'm not going to list all the initiatives, but the one last one I will say is Joe has to learn to be more outspoken. We've tried, as a board, encourage him to be more outspoken and participate more in board meetings, and so we hope that maybe from time to time, if he gets up the courage, he'll come to a board meeting every now and then and check in. But we definitely will miss you. We'll definitely miss your involvement, as we will miss Kelly as well. I mean, two strong board members. So I wish you both a lot of success in whatever you may do. And you never know when you might make a turn and end back up here at Springford.
Well, thank you, Tom, and Ed and Vern, Dr. Gooden. I've sat for a little bit and put some thought into what I could say that I haven't already said over 12 years. I've said a lot of interesting things over 12 years. Some of them I regret. But I've had the honor to be able to sit here, and not only in this seat, but as a board member for 12 years and serve with some great people over that time. Some who are still at the table and some who have moved on, some who have passed on, and serve a community and not think twice. I got involved in this on a whim, not really knowing what I was getting myself into, and it was probably one of the best opportunities that I ever looked at in life. And we don't know where life will lead, but the 12 years I've served on this board, I've been proud to say I'm a Springford board member, and even more proud to say I'm a resident of Springford, as each one of us in this room who live in this district know why we're proud to be Springford. And I've often said the phrase, I didn't grow up here, I chose to live here, we chose to raise our son here. We chose this community, and it was a great choice. I've loved every minute of being a board member, but it comes that time when you need to say goodbye. And as most of you know, I have some desires to go on to another position within the state and continue the work that not only we did here for this district, but beyond. I'll miss the fun times. I'll miss the bad times. We've disagreed at times at this table, more than once. But I think out of the disagreement came great resolution. And we all may have taken different roads, but the hope was that we all could arrive at the same location. The board became a family and still is a family. There's two people, well, there's three in the room, I think. Well, Barry is another. Four, who I think have been with from the beginning. Well, Mike was here too, from way back when. And thank you for putting up with me for all these years. I have, even when I've gotten a little out of hand, it's been for the purpose of the district, and I know I've apologized a couple times here and there, but I've often looked at all of you and the time and the effort that you put into this, and I appreciate it, and I look forward to continuing that. I want to say to Mr. Pettit, who was the first board president I served with in 2003, whatever it was, he was a great leader and a mentor to me as we sat at the table and showed me what it was like to be a leader, except for his graduation speech. Mr. McDaniel and Mr. Cooper, who's not here, and Mr. Ziegler, for being some of the administrators who I always went to for advice on multiple topics, even though it wasn't in your areas, and always being honest for everything you came back to me with and said, both on record and off the record. Mrs. Fern, who has sat here as our board secretary for all these years, and she's more to us than a secretary. She never was a secretary. She's been a great advisor to me and a friend, and thank you for everything you've done. Being able to tell me when I've been out of line or when we've had, and right. And you know, a partner for 8 years that I worked hand in hand with, and nothing ever became political, was Tom. We came from different political parties, but we never brought politics to this table. Where we may not agree on different subjects in politics, we showed that when you're working for a goal and a purpose, it doesn't matter. We worked as a team for 8 years. And I can't thank you enough, Tom. And we both came from completely different backgrounds when it came to how we grew up as far as our likes. But together at this table, it was a great team, and I will miss that. I'll miss that a lot. Dr. Gooden, Dave, keep up the work. With you and Alan, two great hires, and I know you'll continue to lead this district. Even though I'm leaving the board, I'm not leaving Springford. Springford gave my son a great education. Yeah, it is a threat. Because remember, I could always come back to that microphone. You could turn it off. That'd never stop me.
That's right. We'll push the button.
That's right. I will now take my seat with two great people sitting in the audience at every meeting. I don't know, I'm going to sit right between them, and we'll laugh at all of you, Mrs. Pettit and Mrs. DeBello. But I have appreciated and loved every minute of sitting at this board table. I have appreciated everything that our staff has done for the family, for my son. My wife and I have been a big part of Spring-Ford and will continue to be a part of Spring-Ford, and everything that happens in this district, it won't be the last, like I said, of me being involved. I would say to the new board members, congratulations. Two of you are here. Well, Christina, who I know extremely well, and Linda, for the work that you're about to do. It is far from thankless. It's something that you see every day in every 8,000 of our students' faces and our community. And every time they say we're selling a home in the Springford area, we're proud to be Springford, know that you'll have taken a great part in building what Springford is and what Springford becomes. So I'll wrap it up, because I know Mr. Pettit probably wants to motion to adjourn. We still have to take public comment, but thank you all for the time. You know, I was going to quote Carol Burnett, but it is true. I'm so glad for the time we've had together. That was very short. I know our paths will cross again, and I look forward to the opportunity to work with each of you again in the future. So thank you. I will leave you with this, though. If you want to, December 1st to the 17th, I'll do a little plug. I will be playing Scrooge at Steel River Theater, Steel River Playhouse, so in a Christmas Carol, if you want to come out and support the arts, would love to see you. There is a cake in the back, I was just told by Dr. Gooden, so please join us after the meeting. A public comment? Is there any public comment? Is there, Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.